it has like some kind of freaking magic. I just feel like a painter all of a sudden. It's amazing. It's kind of killing me right now because there's the deadline of the MagicCon Amsterdam, which I'm going to in a week. It's just a pain. It's just a pain. Let's roll. So today we're talking about my latest painting. Let's grab the painting. But this is the painting. This was the second time I painted a dragon, and the second time really spending any amount of time on an oil painting. We'll get into the whole story of me painting this painting. I've recorded the whole thing on video, and it's gonna be a blast. You're gonna love it. There's ups and downs all over this thing, and all in all, just it's over a month of work. Please enjoy the video. Let's go! So, one day, you know, I decided I wanted to do an oil painting. I decided, let's go, let's try it. I've used watercolor before to add some additional textures to a painting that I did of the hardwood shrine. I got inspired by Magic the Gathering artists, you know, using oil paintings to make these amazing paintings that go on the Magic cards. And, you know, Chris Rahn, Tyler Jacobson, and the like. And I really wanted to try it, so I found out what kind of panel they used. It says ampersand, primed smooth artist panel. It's 18 by 24 inches, which is roughly the size these goats use, you know, to do their paintings. So I thought, let's go, let's give it a shot. When it came to deciding on what to paint next, it was obvious it needed to be a dragon. I hadn't done many dragons, so this was the second dragon only. I did a dragon in December, January this year, and it's the very first piece that went into the portfolio, so I thought it would be fitting to do another dragon just to practice dragons as well, you know, might as well, and to, yeah, just first time oil painting really on that scale. So let's make it a dragon, make it cool. And so I got to sketching and sketched out some dragons. I must say I have had a lot of fun doing the digital part first. You know, especially the sketching, and then like finding out what's gonna be the color of the dragon, what's gonna be the background, what's gonna be the colors of the piece really. It was a lot of fun because I had a lot of practice. I've built portfolio piece after portfolio piece in these last months, so the digital process felt really good and it was super practiced at this point for me. So yeah, it went pretty smoothly, I would say. I had the idea for the image was in my head pretty much from the start. And so I didn't have to do much searching, meandering, looking for it. I knew pretty well what I wanted to draw and paint, so I just went for it. Starting to do the oil painting, after, you know, the digital stuff, the colors, I had everything set, it felt amazing. This panel was so nice to paint on. And after tracing the thing with the Sharpie and the beamer, which, by the way, freaking great. I love that. That was so easy to set up and so easy to trace. Can highly recommend the beamer. Yeah, no, the painting felt amazing. There was no pressure to get anything right, you know. I couldn't really fuck up. I was sure I was going to paint over everything anyways. And so in the beginning it was very liberating and very cool, and I think in like 2 hours or something I had the whole panel filled with colors. So it was very quick as well, and I was surprised. I was feeling good at that point. But had I only known what was about to come. This is where we at right now, and I don't know. This is a lot harder than I thought. Some areas keep getting better and better, and that's why I keep like doing it. And on the other hand, like some areas I definitely mess up. Like this is way this is too light, all of this is too light, I would have to redo all of that. It's just such a mess, and I've been working on this painting for 5, 6, 7 days. Oh gosh, I don't even know. I'm really questioning if this is the right way of doing it right now, or yeah, progress is so slow. It's crazy. But at some point I reached a critical point, I would say, in the painting, which was very essential for me to hit. I think I just figured something out about oil painting, which is gonna make this whole process a lot easier. So the thing is, I'm just using more of the paint right now, and this waterfall and all this stuff in the background of the dragon is now, it's just feeling a lot nicer to paint all of a sudden. And so I've worked on everything separately, and now I can actually go in and paint everything opaquely. I have a great base, but I want to go over it all and make it feel really like oil paint. I just feel like a painter all of a sudden. It's amazing. Oh man, okay. I'm almost done with this painting. Just, this is like the nitty-gritty. I have to get into the details and really paint like super small, and it's kind of killing me right now because there's the deadline of the MagicCon Amsterdam, which I'm going to in a week, and I have to finish the oil painting, then I have to photograph it or scan it somehow, get it into Photoshop, and then paint over it, and that's gonna be a whole thing that's gonna eat up a couple days. So I'm like, oh my god, there's not enough time for anything. I just have to finish this painting. So today we're going in last stretch. Alright, hey, this is quick update. I'm just super hyped right now because I think I finished the painting finally. It took long enough. Really happy to have it done, at least the oil version, and now we're going to get into the digital version and yeah, just make a great painting, put it up on the website, add it to the portfolio. Just super hyped right now. I'm really happy that finally the oil painting is done. After taking a photo of the oil painting, which was actually harder than I thought because you want the lighting to be very consistent, you don't want any reflections. I don't have a studio and I don't have a scanner. So yeah, but I made it work on an overcast day, and I basically turned off any lights, and then I made like a very long exposure photo of it while the room was pretty much dark. Yeah, anyways, I took it into Lightroom, I color corrected the hell out of that thing, and then it was good to go for painting. And this part was actually really enjoyable. I still had the MagicCon deadline looming over my head and needed to get it done, basically. It only took 2 more days of digital painting until I was very happy with it. So I pushed and pulled the values and the colors a little bit, fixed some details up, fixed up the wing shape, I fixed up the head shape a little bit, I made the tail a little thicker, and there were just sort of like all these nuances and little things that I picked up, and I was frustrated while oil painting because they were such a quick fix digitally, but such a pain to do in oils. Now was the time where I could go in and fix all these things up, and it felt pretty good. Yeah, so that was the digital painting process. Actually very nice. Actually very nice after having only done oil painting for a couple weeks. Coming back to that and seeing how much faster certain things are was really cool to see. So my next painting is probably going to be digital. Right, here's some more tidbits and things I learned. I just recorded like a super long video of me just ranting on and on about this painting. I hope you enjoy this last part as well. It's just lessons I've learned and things that, you know, tripped me up along the way. This is sort of meant as a documentary of the whole thing, of the whole process, and I think this is part of it, so enjoy, I guess. I really thought this was going to be a much smoother experience. I don't really understand why oil painting is so hard. If you'd ask me right now why is oil painting so hard, I couldn't tell you why it's hard. It's just fucking hard. It's just so hard. It was one of those things that just never ended, and okay, another day of painting. And then I painted the whole day on it and tried to finish and paint all the things that I had no idea how to paint, and in the moment it was painful sometimes. For example, it took me an entire day to paint all the single pine needles. The whole story is, basically with the pine needles, I painted everything else, and then I thought, okay, to really judge the values correctly, I need to put in my darkest darks, but some of the darkest darks are in those pine needles, right? I painted in all the pine needles so I could judge the painting better, and then I had to redo the background, and so I painted over the pine needles again. 2 full working days, imagine like 8 to 10 hours of painting, were just doing these pine needles. And you're just concentrating so much to do like smooth lines and picking the right values. So within the pine needle it goes from darker to lighter and from more reddish brown to a more brighter greenish color. Yeah. So that was the painting experience with pine needles. Don't recommend it. Oil painting just has something. It has like some kind of freaking magic. You can do transitions like really well, and like the way the one color blends into the other color is just, sometimes it's just pure magic. I don't know. That's why I chose oils for this one. I had some problems with the lighting because I thought, well, it's gonna be like spotlight, little spots of light, you know, coming through pine needles that are above the dragon. So you have the dragon in the tree branch, and then there's other tree branches that you can't see in the painting that are above him, and then the light's coming through the pine needles and through the branches and hitting the dragon. And at some point I was just giving up basically on the idea that I'm going to be able to paint all the spots of light coming through all the pine needles and all the branches, because it was just too complex. I had trouble just painting the scales of the dragon and then trying to imagine some kind of shadow falling on that and some kind of light falling on that, and it's just, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It's crazy. Oh, that's another thing. Oh my god. I didn't use much medium, like in the first stages. I didn't use any terps or oils or anything. And the painting would be dry to the touch. And you would think, it's an oil painting, it stays wet for months, I can take my time, I can blend all the colors. The problem is you're creating pretty sharp edges, and you can't really blend them in with the background unless you paint the background again. And so me going in there having no real experience whatsoever, I'm painting the background just dries up, and then I'm painting the foreground over the background thinking, okay, now I have to blend the foregrounds a little bit into the background. So I repaint the background on top of the background, trying to match the colors of the background just so I can smudge the branch colors into the background a little bit so I don't have this sharp line. Stuff like that happened like so many times. There was also so much hair and dust on the painting. I mean, we live in a 1-room apartment. I don't have a studio or anything, so it's just one room where, you know, we eat, sleep, and I paint, basically. The painting wasn't wet for long, but while it was wet, it picked up like dirt and dust from the air like crazy. And so you come back the next day And the first thing I have to do is literally like go over the painting and remove all the dust from it, which is an absolute pain. And some hair that was stuck in there, I had to rip it off, and then some of the paint comes back off. Stuff like that, where you just, okay, now I have to remix that color. There's some notion that I'm going to be able to figure it out. That was a, oh, let me talk about that. That was a whole thing with this painting, was this, I will be able to figure it out, was a big theme of this painting. And I always left some decisions up for later. And I had some fear about being bored with the painting. So if I figure out everything in the beginning, I'm going to be bored 2 weeks later, still just painting everything that I've already figured out. But that's not necessarily true. 2 weeks later, you're sitting there thinking, I'm in no better shape right now to figure this out than I was 2 weeks ago. Why the hell didn't I figure it out 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that was a big thing with this painting. It's also just a total nightmare to be sitting there and not knowing what you're gonna paint or how you're gonna paint it. And still knowing like, oh yeah, I still need to figure that one out. That's definitely something I would do differently. Ups and downs, really, ups and downs. If you ever try painting something like this, or with anything in life, really, it's just like with anything in life, when you approach something big, something you might have never done before, there's going to be ups and downs, and there's going to be failures, and you're going to run into walls, and sometimes you just have to bang your head against them to move on from a point. And this painting had all of that, but it also, again, it had its ups for sure, where I was feeling pretty good about it. It's not like the digital process, it's very hands-on, and it's really something I enjoyed. Like mixing the color, putting it on the brush, putting it on the painting. It's just so enjoyable. And if you mix the right colors and blend them, it just looks so nice. It was such a crazy experience. So, a very intense, very much like life, I think. So, really cool stuff. It is fun in a way, but it's also very challenging, because there were so many things that I didn't really account for, that I didn't really plan for. I didn't know they were gonna happen, because I don't do this type of thing often, or at least I didn't. I will probably do more of it now in the future, but yeah, man, it was something. It was definitely something. Those were a couple of stories that I could tell you from the painting. If you made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you so much for watching till the end. This was a crazy project for me. I hope you got something out of it, or it was entertaining or anything. Anyways, leave a like, leave a comment, ask any questions you want about it. So again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. See ya.